Sonic X Shadow Generations just came out, and when they said it was the best 3D Sonic game since SA2, they weren't kidding. This game is something else. Firstly, I will not be talking about story spoilers or the story itself. That will come with the NNC Reviews video. I am only going to be talking about the pure gameplay. I played the first 4 levels plus the Biolizard, and I will only be showing footage from the Space Colony Arc and Rail Canyon, with small footage of the open zone. Another note is that I'm not going to go in depth. This is purely my first thoughts on playing the game. Of course, like with any impressions video, a lot of these opinions are subject to change, but as of right now, I truly believe this is a true evolution of the boost formula. The first thing I want to talk about is the control/feel, and this was my biggest concern for the game, because if it was bad, it would clash with Sonic Generations in the worst way possible. But after playing it, I can officially say the controls feel amazing. Within the levels themselves, the controls feel smooth and natural. I feel like I am always in control, unlike Forces or Cyberspace, where it's very much automated with little to no freedom. In Shadow, the turning is super good and I feel in control at all times. Here, Shadow Generations is super polished, like the most polished 3D Sonic game of all time. I can see why Eurogamer thought the original Generations was outdated, even if they're wrong. Within the open zone, this is basically just an open zone but infinitely more polished and refined with smoother control and cohesive platforming that feels good and natural. Shadow has some of the best ground control in the franchise. I never feel like platforming is hindered by awkward controls. It really reminds me of the adventure games but with boost elements, which is what open zone should be. This leads me to talk about the Doom powers, and I'm very happy to say they feel great to control and not shoehorned in. They feel like a natural upgrade to the Shadow's moveset and not a gimmick you get tired of after 1 or 2 tries. I was worried about the Doom Blast at first, but after using it, it gives a lot of freedom and doesn't feel jank. Nothing in this game thus far feels jank, and that goes for the Chaos powers as well. Overall, the controls feel and are very polished. Everything feels smooth and tightly designed without the bullshit. Now we can talk about the game's structure and level design, in which, holy crap, the level design in this game is top notch. If you recall, in my hopes for Shadow Generations video, where I said I hope the game has mirroring quality of Sonic Generations, well, I am happy to say this is not only the case, but in some ways I feel like this game is even better than the original Generations. I know a lot of you guys might think, well, of course the new thing is going to improve from the old thing, and that's fair to assume, but with Sonic that's not always the case. But here, holy fuck yes! To start, the game is structured pretty much identically to the original Sonic Generations. This time, instead of a 2D blank hub world, we get an open zone hub, which, as I said earlier, it feels like a super refined Sonic Frontiers. No sliders that change the way Shadow controls, just confident physics that leave me super satisfied. I've experienced no pop-in, and all the platforming feels great. As for the levels, the amount of branching pathways is incredible. I know that term has become more of a buzzword nowadays, but I promise this is in the best way possible. It's exactly like the good boost titles, but I'd say even better. Firstly, infinitely better than Sonic Colors, and more modern than Unleashed in Generations. In Colors, for example, it always felt really blocky and didn't flow well. That times 10 for Forces, but here all the pathways feel natural. You discover a lot of them by accident at times, which is how it should be. The Sonic series prided itself on the multiple pathways you can take to get to the finish, and Shadow Generations proudly holds that. Alternate paths doesn't mean most optimal. It means finding different ways to get through a level, and I can confidently say that this is the case here. Even if a route isn't the fastest, finding a new pathway is always super thrilling. The 2D levels especially get a huge praise from me. At first I didn't know how they would make these nearly as fun as the 3D levels, but the use of crazy camera angles and a bunch of obstacles adds so much thrill and fun to these. I was not expecting to like 2D as much as I do, but I think they're just as good as the 3D ones, even making something like Rail Canyon feel exhilarating. The spectacle and gameplay balance is perfect. It all flows together wonderfully. It's smooth like butter. You're always on your toes. The level design is strengthened by the Doom and Chaos powers. They open up these levels so much. Successfully using a Doom power mixed with Chaos control to get to a higher part of the level feels so satisfying. That said, the boost management is the cherry on top of this delicious sundae. I actually have to conserve my boost and use it at the proper time. Long gone are the days of essentially infinite boost from Forces or automatic refilling from Frontiers. If you hold down the boost expecting the win, you will be sorely disappointed. Better start coming up with a new term to describe this game. Boost the win is dead. The boost, like Unleashed in Generations, enhances is the level design instead of being the end-all be-all. And since this is structured like Sonic Generations, there are challenge acts to complete before getting a gate key. Recency bias or not, I genuinely think these are way better than the ones from Sonic Generations. These make great use out of Shadow's moveset and feel like mini levels as opposed to mini games. They act as a good tutorial on how to use your abilities, and dare I say, they are pretty challenging at times. I would only ever play the Doppelganger levels to avoid doing the original challenges as a kid, but now I want to do all these, and wish there was more of them per zone. And the Bylizard fight is simply incredible. I love everything about it. Overall, Shadow Generations leaves a beautiful first impression. I was not expecting them to drop one of the best 3D Sonic games, but here we are. This truly feels like the Boost game I was always hoping for as a kid. Shadow is a true expansion of the Boost formula and modernizes the control and feel. Nothing feels janky, out of place, or stitched together. We got an honest-to-God, solid 3D Sonic game, and it pleases me so much to say that. So far, there's no catch with this game. It's just good. No, this game is good, but no. We actually got a good Sonic game, a solid Sonic game. But as I said, this is an impressions video, so feel free to comment what your first impressions are like. Now, I'm gonna get back to playing the game after I edit this video. Expect a live stream tonight and another impressions video based on the Sonic Generations remaster. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys next time.